Hello everyone, this is Roxas1359. Welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Last time, we ended up finishing the trading side quest, and this time, I mean it, we are done with the trading side quest. And in this part, we're gonna do some plot stuff. And by plot stuff, I mean plot side quests. But first things first, we have 2 locations to go to. Don't worry, there is gonna be plot done in this episode, I swear. We're gonna be going to Needle Rock Island, and then we're going to be going to Diamond Step Island. There are 2 reasons why we're going to Needle Rock. One of them is to make my life so much easier later in the project. The second one is because there is a piece of heart that we can get once we use a Hui pair on the island. The island is guarded by a bunch of Helm Rocks, so I recommend taking out the Helm Rocks. And on my last Hui pair, we're going to set this up, because as you can see, there is a chest that is on fire here, and what we have to do is at the top of the Needle Rock, there is a switch that we have to hit with a Hui pair in order to be able to deactivate it. That will lead us to a piece of heart. Now you might notice that there is an ice block there as well. The ice block is actually plot important, because that will lead us to an area that will help us out later once we go after the rest of the Triforce Charts. We're going after some more of the Triforce Charts in this episode, and in the next episode we're going after even more of them. Like I said, plot side quests. It has to be done eventually, and this is the most tedious part of the game, unfortunately, but it has to be done. This was mitigated inside of The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD by the fact that instead of having Triforce Charts where they were, most of the Triforce Charts were instead replaced with the actual Triforce piece themselves. But there we go. And that's a good thing too, because that was my last Hui pair, and I spent 8 minutes on that. I'm not gonna lie. I spent 8 minutes because there are a lot of Helm Rocks to get rid of. But with this, we have now completed our 14th heart container. So, how many more bosses do we have in the game? Well, we have 2 more bosses that will give us heart containers, which means we have a total of only 24 heart pieces left, if I'm doing my math correctly. Now, our next location is that we're going to on Needle Rock is going to be with that ice block right over there. But first, I want this red rupee, because I need to start building up rupees for the inevitable deciphering of the Triforce Charts, which is another reason that this game, really at the Triforce part, is where a lot of people are just not a fan of this game. And I don't blame them. This was, again, mitigated inside Wind Waker HD, but Roxas ain't playing Wind Waker HD. He's playing SD Wind Waker. But go down here after you melt the block, and you'll end up in this location. There's a bunch of magic pots around and arrows for you. Because if you look at this sign, what we have to do is it will tell you to light all the torches in order to guide the way to the dead. And what that means is the ghost ship. For those that might not remember, way back the first time we went to Windfall Island and we did Lenzo's side quest, we went upstairs and we saw a picture of what Lenzo took, which was of the ghost ship. What we have to do is, the ghost ship, whenever you get near it, surprisingly enough, through every single side quest video I have done so far in this project, we've actually not come across the ghost ship. Whenever you get near the ghost ship, the entire ship will be completely invisible, which means you'll pass right through it. What lighting these torches does is it makes it so that the ghost ship is solid and that you can go inside it. Why would you need to go inside it? There is a Triforce chart inside there. So we need to get to the ghost ship. So here I am looking for the remaining torches. Some of them are hidden pretty dang well. So there's one right there, so I can see that. So let's light this torch. And it's really just good to get this out of the way right now. There's a chart in the game that we're gonna get that's gonna show the locations of where the ghost ship is. And the ghost ship is probably gonna be the last of the Triforce Charts I end up getting, but it's better to do this now instead of having to wait later on to do it. Now there is another one up there, as I can see based on the camera, and I think past me ends up seeing that too. So let us aim true. Oh, I hit the wall. There we go. So there is one more torch that is left, but where is it? It's on the very top mast of the ship, right over there in the corner. I briefly saw it for a second, which is why I was able to catch where it was. So, light the last one. Sweet, on my first try too. You know you've lit them all when this chest appears. So now the ghost ship will be solid, and as a bonus, we get an orange rupee, which is always very good to get. So, where's our next location? Next up, we're going to Diamond Step Island, for we have a treasure chart going to there. We've actually had this one for quite a while, I believe since the Forest Haven. And I've been meaning to go here, but I just never saw a reason to. The reason why we're going to Diamond Step Island right now. Wait, no, we're not going to Diamond Step Island just yet. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun a bit. We're still in Needle Rock Island, because on Needle Rock Island, there is a group of ships that are available right here. One of them contains a Triforce Chart. So we're going to be pilfering that Triforce Chart from this ship that's in Ganon's grasp, but Ganon decides not to take the Triforce Chart for some odd reason. Maybe it's because he needs all pieces of the Triforce, but he can't read the chart. But then again, he was able to salvage the chart, so I don't know. Maybe he is able to read the chart. I mean, he has dark magic. You'll notice on Needle Rock Island where the ships are, and it'll say on the Incredible chart that there are a group of ships here, and that the golden ship, this one right here, has the Triforce piece. Well, the Triforce shard. Inside of Wind Waker HD, it'd be a piece. So, there we go. And luckily, the location where the chart is marked by the orb, so I just need to cruise along, ignoring the bombs. And let's pull out our grappling hook. Ever so useful. And here we go. We managed to grab it. And with this, we have 2 of 8 Triforce Charts. We have another 6 to go. Ow. But next stop, Diamond Step Island. So, Diamond Step Island is right to the south of Needle Rock Island. So all you have to do is go south, get close enough to where you have the treasure chart. That is not what I needed to do. And let us grab ourselves another piece of heart. Going on to our 15th heart, which is pretty impressive if you ask me. We're slowly starting to wrap up with the side quests in this game, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry, we're almost done. And with this, we have another piece of heart. So, working on our 15th heart container. So, where are we headed off to next, you may be wondering? Well, we're gonna go to the Isle of Steel. The Isle of Steel is to the south? It's to the northwest of Diamond Step Island, which means it's to the south of Greatfish Isle. We're going after another Triforce chart, ladies and gentlemen, and this one is one that you have to kill all enemies in the square in order to get to, because for some odd reason there's an invisible barrier that blocks your way, even though the ships that are around here don't really seem to do that. So once you kill all enemies in the area, just go into the Isle of Steel, and here we are to where we can get ourselves another piece of the Triforce. So, let us go to right here and get it. So yes, with this we will have 3 of the Triforce charts out of the 8 of them. If you remember the one I got off Bird Peak Rock by accident when I first started doing my side questing stuff. So this is plot side quest, as I constantly have to justify, because otherwise this would be just another side quest episode with Roxas 1359. There we go. That's Triforce chart number 3. So, what is our next destination? Now we're actually going to prep for going to the next 2 dungeons. In this rest of this episode, we're going to be prepping on one of the dungeons, and then in the next episode we're going to start on prepping for the second one of the dungeons. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Ice Ring Isle. Now I've not shown off where Ice Ring Isle is. It is to the west of the Forest Haven. So go west to the Forest Haven and you'll find Ice Ring Isle. You need the fire arrows in order to melt the ice on Ice Ring Isle to make it so that you don't instantly die when you touch the island. As you can see Ice Ring Isle off in the distance right over here. There is also a treasure chart that is located on Ice Ring Isle that I believe gives you a piece of heart, if I remember correctly, or it gives you 200 rupees. It's hard to remember which one's which because I don't write down in my notes which one of the charts gives to what. I just write that there's a chart here, go get X chart. I need to write more detailed notes. But let's grab this little chest right here. I mean, it was right there and we might as well grab it, am I right? And it was 20 rupees, so that's nice. I almost have enough to pay for one of the Triforce Chart translations. Don't worry, I am going to grind rupees off screen till I am able to afford all the Triforce Chart translations because they cost 398 rupees a piece. So, as you can see, welcome to Ice Ring Isle. You can see where the treasure chest that contains the piece of heart is. What we have to do is we have to aim a fire arrow into the dragon's mouth. But first things first, let's melt that chest. And next, let us melt the ice. And there we go. Once you do that, there is a timer that will go off. That timer runs out. I will show you what happens because I actually ran out of time. But first things first, let us grab this this treasure chart. So, we got ourselves a treasure chart. This is the only one of the 2 islands we're going to that actually has a treasure chart on it. I don't know why. But what happens when you run out of time? On the inside of the cave right there. When you run out of time, you get booted out and frozen solid. Why did that happen? Because Roxas is a dingus and was not very good with aiming. So, let's try that again. You just have to hit the dragon head. You don't have to hit into the mouth, but I just so happen to be a good enough shot to where I can hit right there. Toot my own horn, why don't I? So, let us go back in, and this time I'm going to show you how you do this island correctly, and then a little bonus that you can do inside the island as well. So, you need to watch out because there are ice physics on this ice. I know it's kind of self-obvious, but seeing as how this game didn't really have a sliding mechanic until this island, I figured it was important to point it out. So, slide on down. If you end up stopping, then Link makes some strange noises, to say the least. Whoa, that was close. Don't want to slip too much. And what are the strange noises? Well, yeah, Link's got butter feet. This is what it's like to play as Luigi inside of games with butter feet. So, let us go across, listening to Link's screams, and let's go on the inside to where I will show you where I screwed up constantly. For over 3.5 minutes, I screwed up in this area. And it's right here. We have a bunch of keys flying around. The keys didn't do anything. If you fall down in the ice, what you have to do, not the ice, if you fall down into the water down there, what you have to do is there is a grapple hook point for you to go off on that you have to grapple your way back up. The slide that is right here, that is right next to me, I kept falling down for some odd reason. So what I want to do is I want to get rid of the keys. Goodbye keys. Surprisingly, there are no ice keys in this game. And that surprises me because they were inside of Ocarina of Time. This slide right here, I kept falling off of and into the water instantly. But this time, I managed to do it correctly. So, let us grab what our prize is. And once we do, the timer will stop, which is great. So, open up this chest, and we get one of our last pieces of equipment in the game. We get the iron boots. These boots are so heavy you can hardly walk, but wind can't blow you away either. That is your cue to go over this way. So, luckily, unlike Ocarina of Time, you can equip the iron boots to a item slot. As you can see, there is a hole right here. So, why don't we go on inside? And this is not necessary, but it gets you 100 rupees, so it's very good for me. Plus, also, there are dark nuts, which I have been corrected. These are dark nuts, not iron knuckles. I still think that they should be called iron knuckles, but that's just me. Because there's a variation of them later in the game that have capes that I like to call dark nuts. But these are canonically dark nuts. So, yes, thank you, comments, for correcting me on that. I could have sworn they were iron knuckles, but either way, I'll just take my frustrations out on being wrong on this guy. He didn't deserve it, but he's gonna die anyway. Nope. Oh, we got a moblin right here. And we can get some rupees. I almost have enough to where I can afford one of the Triforce translations. The fact that it's 398 rupees sucks so much. Give me your skull necklace. Right? There we go. Ow! That hurt. I swear, if he hit me back into the light, I would have been pissed. All right, get the hearts. We got a pot right there, probably contains some magic inside it. Bokoblin time. One bokoblin. It's two bokoblins. Got a joy pendant. We don't really need two joy pendants. We don't really need these anymore. You can sell them to Beetle for about 5 rupees a piece. So if you got a lot of them, go to town and sell your loose items. Beetle pays a way better price than giving them to the people who need them once you've met their requirements. So, for example, the old man who gives you 20 rupees for all your skull necklaces, don't take your skull necklaces to that guy. Just sell them to Beetle. Beetle will give you them for 5 rupees. All right, so that takes care of the moblin. And the chest appears. So why don't we go and get that 100 rupees, and then I'm gonna end off the part right here. Kind of a shorter episode compared to my side questing episodes, and let me tell you, that's not changing at least one bit. The only reason why I didn't make this one giant video is because I want to kind of get a bulk. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna end it off right here. This has been Roxas1359. Next time, we're going to be heading off towards our next destination, Fire Mountain, for another piece of the puzzle.